Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. We're taking a look at a Toyota Altezza, this one here from 2010 with 250,000 kilometers on it. This is what we would consider a lower grade, kind of bottom 20% version of the Altezza. There's nothing really wrong with it, but there are a lot of things here and there that it's going to need a little bit of help on. If you are looking for a lower price version of the Altezza, maybe you're making a race car or maybe you want a project or something, this is a good example of what you can expect. Okay, so first off, the Beams version of the 3S engine. 3S engine is an early 80s engine, but the Beams is the final version of it. In this case, 210 horsepower out of a 2-liter. No turbo there. This is one of the higher power per displacement engines out there, and I think maybe the highest one that Toyota made. Could be wrong about that. Fantastic engine though, people know it as the Beams engine. And you take a look at the intake, very smooth looking intake. Take a look at the exhaust, very much like a header. Doesn't put out a ton of power until later in the RPM range, and so this is going to be one of those higher RPM cars. What makes this car so great is that this is a Lexus car that they have a Toyota engine in, and so it was built around an inline 6-cylinder being capable of being put in. The 2J was put into this in non-turbo format that gave out about 220 horsepower. So this is a little bit lower in power, but with the 4-cylinder being a smaller engine, this is actually a front midship layout, and you get much better handling with this one. You also get a 6-speed manual transmission, which means that you have shorter gear ratios, and the Altezza in a straight line and in the corners is faster than the Lexus version of it, the RS200. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and turn the engine off. This one has an aftermarket exhaust, so I'll have a quick little listen to what the exhaust sounds like. Okay, and it's not going to sound exactly the same because this is on video. This door. Oh, the curtain's getting stuck. Okay, have something to say about these curtains. Any car you see with curtains on there? Question the previous owner. Those are popular with what we call Yankees here in Japan. Not Yankee like the American Yankee. There's a Japanese word, Yankee, which is maybe someone who doesn't trying to put this in a politically correct way, but maybe somebody who doesn't care too much about the little small details and isn't going to be concerned about little things like, oh, say, maintenance. That said, 250,000 kilometers, the engine still seems to run fine. So, you know, Toyota did the right things. Got a little bit of oil seeping here out of the valve cover. If you look down at the oil pan, quite a bit of oil that has found its way around it. And so you probably need to get an oil pan gasket installed in there. Looks like timing belt has been finished. There's a sticker here in 2014 at 141,000 kilometers. I guess it's coming near time to get it done again. Coolant, oil, no problems with them. Probably going to want to change them pretty soon. As far as modifications go, there is random wiring, stock intake box. Usually the first thing people do to these Altezza is change the intake box, change the suspension, change the exhaust. And it looks like it has suspension and exhaust. Tane brand, by the way, but no air intake, which I know you're listening to this, Max. Max has an Altezza. He was the one who told me this. The air intake box, the stock one, actually gives you better performance than every aftermarket one except for maybe one, maybe two. Okay, we'll go ahead and close the hood, which weighs 25 kilograms.
Want to see us having fun in Japan? Go check out our new channel. Link in the description.
And we'll start off by reading the auction inspection sheet here. So it's I'm sorry, I said 2010. I don't know why I said that. Brain is not turned on today. 2001 Altezza RS200 Z Edition. Auction rate 3.5, interior C with alloy wheels, power steering, power windows. 257.24 kilometers, no sales points, no notes. Right into the report. Headliner is yellowed, most likely from smoking cigarettes heavily inside the car. Another thing that these curtain owners love. Those Yankees curtains, cigarettes, sitting too low in the seat. And in this case, one of the funniest shift knobs that I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of shift knobs, let me tell you. Okay, so report here. Seat wear, exterior, aftermarket steering wheel, shift knob, suspension, and exhaust. Wheels scratched Body is not glossy, which is true. Shallow scratches, engine oil leak, and S2, which is rust on the roof. It's luckily not as bad as you would think it is. So that was a nice little win. And you see this on the auction sheet, you know you're going to be paying less. People don't usually buy cars with a rusty roof unless they're going to get it for a much lower price. Hence why people would bid on something like this. Y2 crack in the side skirt, which isn't as bad as I thought it was. AU2 on the front bumper and scuff, it is at least medium, and the rear bumper A3, so we'll have a quick peek at that. So now let's take you for a tour around it. And yes, the glossiness of the paint means you're going to have to repaint it if you like a glossy car, or don't, and wait for it to rust, I guess. Repaint is probably in the cards for this. When it says exterior not glossy, it means that your clear coat has faded in the sun and has evaporated off of the car. Next is your paint. Here's a good example. Once your paint gets thin, you're going to get stuff like this. And then you need to repaint. You have to take the paint off, sand it down, make sure it doesn't rust again, and then paint it. Paint is what protects your car from rust and other things. And if this one's going to England, you know you're going to have to watch out for the rust. You can see here the aftermarket tail lights have been put in, and the aftermarket exhaust is visible. I see the scratches in the rear bumper. I'll come and revisit them. We now have JDM tunnel. There we go. Sadly, we are not allowed to cut down the trees in the park here, so we have to deal with that. JDM tree is a big boy now. Now that's about 5 meters tall. JDM tree, by the way. The tree with the little tree coming out. This one here is the JDM tree. This was just a little guy when we started so many years ago in this lot. Anyway, back to the car. I can't really show you too much of that side because it is a little bit dark on this side, and the JDM tree kind of gets in the way. So there, have a quick look at that, and we will come back for damages. And here we are back at the front. So this one has the alternate front bumper, which does give it a nice sporty look on the front. Headlights being yellow take a lot away from the looks of the car, unfortunately. And the front bumper has plenty of kind of road debris splash damage on it, as well as the edge of the hood. Got a little bit of a dent there, some touched up paint there, here, the dented section here, rock chip there. And then the AU2 is right here. And it stands out quite a bit because it's within the area that your eyes naturally go when you take a look at things. So, as you can see there. That wiring that I said was a little bit weird. It might be these fog lights. It might be. I don't know. Could be an aftermarket horn. You can kind of see the wires in there, but I can't see where it goes to. Okay, when your hood doesn't have a lot of clear coat, you tend to accumulate dirt on it fairly easily. And if you wipe like this, you can get some of the paint onto your hands. As you can see there, the paint itself is evaporating. Okay, coming down here, I'm seeing the crack there on the side skirt and the crack here. Like I said, not the worst cracks in the world. Certainly can be fixable, or you can go to an aftermarket side step. I think that one is aftermarket, actually. Yeah, I believe that to be aftermarket to begin with. So back bumper, here's your A3. You have some gouges there that have been touched up with a touch-up paint down here as well. And right here. Someone's pasted on what looks like little markers, but they're not. Okay. Thin paint has allowed it to rust a little bit. And your third brake light has been converted over to LEDs. See, these Yankee guys are all about the style. So they'll spend all their money on little upgrades. And I'm sure you guys in the UK have the UK version of these kind of drivers. So typically, you're going to want to avoid driving cars that have been driven by these types of people. To some extent, you don't really know what you're getting into, but that's why the curtains are key. The curtains on the side of the doors, only a Yankee thing. And in this case, steering wheel and shift knob and stuff like that. Now that said, everybody kind of knows that, and they're going to keep prices down. These are cars bought from auction. That means that you pay the price that they're worth. And if other buyers are like, don't want the Yankee car, you're getting it for several $1,000s less. So, pros and cons. I know that if I were making a race car or something, I would absolutely want something that hasn't been taken care of all that well, because I don't want to pay for a great conditioned car if I know I'm going to race it. Back curtain. You get stuck in there. I especially don't like the curtains because you can no longer do shoulder checks very easily because the curtain gets in the way. That's okay. If you don't care about other people, you can just keep those curtains. Okay, so the back here is a little bit on the dirty side, needs to be cleaned. Not really damaged in any way. There's a pass-through if you want to put skis in here. These cards are a little bit difficult to manipulate. Okay, spare tire. I can't open that up. Come on, you can do this. Space saver spare. A little bit of what looks like it might be rusting in there. Okay. You might think this is something else, but it's actually a finger cut. And spare bulb in there. And spare receipts and stuff. Okay. Close this up, noticing it's just dirtiness. Yeah, more than anything, it needs a good clean. Okay, on to the interior now. Okay, so with a yellow headliner, you're going to expect it to smell like cigarettes. I believe it has been smoked in. Let's have a good smell test in here. Yep, it smells like cigarettes. I would rate this one a 7 out of 10. I have sat in worse, but certainly cigarettes is part of the character of this car. Yellow headliner absolutely means has been smoked in. That's how you get the headliner yellow. And I'm not sure if you can see the colors too well in this video, but it is yellow to the look, or to the eye. I think Altezza's great package. Rear wheel drive, nimble, kind of a smaller engine, but definitely a sporty feeling one. Decent sized rear seats. I think they're such a great package. And yeah, the Altezzas are running out. Get them while you can. So power windows everywhere. Here's the curtain rod that is supposed to snap on the bottom of the curtain, but this one maybe has deteriorated or something. Okay, tweeters naturally in the doors. You got speakers down here with a molded in kind of pretend aftermarket speaker type thing. I always thought aluminum scuff plates were cool. Back when this car came out, they were kind of a new thing. And here we can see it says drifting D1 spec steering wheel and highly offset one, meaning, this is kind of funny, meaning you can't reach to your signal. In order to fix that, they have installed a little extender. So now you can reach it. Yankee business. This, I don't know why, but it has been moved back to the rear. And so it's not even usable if it's not tight enough. And they are universal parts. They don't really fit properly. You also have good luck charms. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 good luck charms. Maybe that's why it's running pretty well for 250,000 kilometers. Seats. Looking pretty good for the high mileage. Maybe the lighter dude was sitting in them. Seat belt covers. Let me tell you, it's like the whole kit for the Yankee driver. And shift knob. Perhaps the previous owner was a samurai in a past lifetime. Full style, you know, some people like that. It's probably just a cheap product. It seems to function fine. Some of them are floppy and stuff. Oh, look at this. Another good luck charm. This guy must have been really lucky. Pedal covers have aluminum on them. That's stock. I think this gauge set is maybe a little bit different from the early to late models. I think the late models have the tachometer in the middle and the speedometer on the side. And a couple of areas where things have been stuck under the dashboard but are no longer. Okay, your CD player has been removed. Ashtray is relatively clean, and cigarette lighter hasn't been used. What's this? Planet Star, Min and Max for something. But yeah, the interior is looking pretty good, all things considered. A higher mileage car, I think you could be pretty happy with this interior. Except for that headliner. This stuff tends to be a little bit easy to get out when you wash it, but you have to put in some elbow grease to wash it. And this guy was a arm on the windowsill while driving kind of guy, hence the cigarette burns up here. Tends to happen. And this, part of the Yankee kit. Okay, so I think we have seen enough. It may seem like I am bashing the car. Absolutely not. You pick the cars you want to bid on. If you have a specific budget and you want to hit within that budget, you go with a lower end car. A lot of people like getting a car that's lower end as long as they can get it for a good deal. The rust on the roof, I'm not gonna miss that. I just noticed that there's a car coming, so. The rust on the roof, I think that you can be very satisfied with what you've got here. Usually that means bubbling up rust that's touching the windshield, not in this case. Somebody has taken the rain guards out, and you can see there is a little bit of surface rust on the rain guards. What you're going to want to do is sand that before you repaint your car, and that is going to become a non-issue. It is not nearly bad enough that it is a concern at all. Also, aftermarket roof spoiler. I'm a sucker for these. I know they're not actually functional, but I think they look really cool. Oh, an aftermarket thing on it. You know, there are a lot of people who say people in Japan take great care of their cars, which is right on average, but there are the same kind of people all around the world who are going to modify their car with little cheap accessories like that. Okay, we are done with this Altezza. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a little bit different from most of the cars, but hope you enjoyed it. My name is Derek Weldon from Pacific Coast Auto. If you have any interest in importing a car from Japan, hit us up. There's a link to all of that in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.